A good friend of mine asked me this question: how do I make more money at work? And the way I would answer this is just the fact that you are asking a question is an indication that the abundance you want is going to come. Now, it may come from this job, this specific work you're thinking about, or it might come from somewhere else. It really doesn't matter where, right? Um, but by focusing on, it's important to make sure that your focus isn't on the lack of money because then it's not going to come. But you want to focus on what you're inspired to, right? So if you have an idea for how to make something better, if you have solutions to problems, whatever, then take the initiative and do those things. I feel like the saying "go above and beyond" is a good, very general, pretty safe approach. What I would say to that though is you want to make sure that the work that you're doing still feels like an alignment to you, and that it doesn't feel like you're um, what word am I looking for? So I'm gonna give an example. So let's say, based on your job duties and what's expected of you, if you do all of that stuff, you're performing at 100%, meaning you're doing everything that's expected of you. Now, I would say going above and beyond, you should maybe do, I feel like that would be going like 125 to maybe like 140% as far as expectations. But I wouldn't recommend exceeding 150% because then at that point, you may be overextending yourself, and that could, yeah, you may be overextending yourself and maybe possibly overextending the bounds of whatever position you have. Um, so I recommend going 125 to 130% max over what you're expected to do. And keep track of everything you do that's over and above what you've done, what you're required to do, what's expected of you. And I would not, at most sort of positions, have some sort of like review period where you, your performance is reviewed, your wages are reviewed, that sort of thing. Some positions don't though. So I would generally say that the seasons changing are good times for that sort of thing. And I would say if they don't approach you about a performance review, a wage review, something like that, then you approach them about it. But ideally, the way you want this to go is that you're going above and beyond. They are noticing the extra contribution that you're making and they see the value in it, and then they offer you a raise or they offer you a promotion or they offer you something. That's the way you want to do. That's the way you want to go. Right? You want to attract that in. But if they don't, then when the seasons change, then I would approach them and ask them for a wage increase or a promotion or a new position or a new title or whatever you desire, and be ready to present to them all the things that you've done over and beyond what your current duties are as to the reason why you feel that you should get that. Now, they may not ask you why, and if they don't, that's perfect. But if they do, and some may, then you want to be ready and prepared with what that is. Now, we're operating under the assumption that they're going to say yes. Now, if they say yes, you're right, blah, 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 we want to give you what you're asking for, then that is fantastic, right? That's, you got exactly what you want. And you want to know what you want, right? You want to make more money. How much do you want to make? You need to have a number. You want a position? What is the position? You want a title? What's the title? You want to be doing certain work? What is the work? And how are they going to evaluate, if you're doing that to a satisfactory level or not? So these are things that you want to get specific on and clear on first before you approach your employer, your boss, and ask them for something, right? You want to have all of that clear within you so that there's no I don't know. What do you think? No, you don't. No, we're not coming at this all wishy-washy. You want to be very clear and certain with that. Now, in the instance that they say no, then you have a decision to make, right? If they say no, if they don't want to give you a different position or pay you more or whatever you ask for, don't beg. This isn't a begging sort of thing, right? There may be a variety of reasons why it's a no. And none of those reasons have anything to do with you. So don't take it personally. Just understand that that may not be the path for you right now. So be okay with that. The second part of if they say no is, well, you've been performing at over 100%. So now it is up to you to decide, are you going to continue to perform and do duties that are not within your job description? Or are you going to stop doing the extra stuff and just do what your job description is? This approach, it really just depends on what feels right for you, right? Like if you really have been pushing yourself and maybe it feels like you're overextending a bit, then yes, you're going to need to pull back and let them know that. If this is someplace you really do want to be long term and you think that this is maybe a temporary no, but maybe you feel like there is still opportunity for you to get the thing that you want at some later point, then again, that's still up to you to evaluate whether or not you want to continue to do this extra work that you're not getting paid for or not. But if this is something that you're not particularly invested in, you don't particularly like the work, you don't see this being a long-term thing, there are other factors there, and you see yourself ultimately going in a different direction than with this company, then pull back and don't do the extra work, right? That's a thought. You could also see it as, this is an opportunity to prepare your resume for the next position, for the next company, for the next place you decide to go. So nothing is ever wasted. You never waste energy. You never waste work. You never waste effort. Everything that you do adds to your vibrational bank. Everything you do adds to your vibrational credits, right? So when you leave this position for another one or take on an extra position, then you can talk about how, your duties were this, but you went over and beyond that and did these things and helped the company achieve these goals or help them implement this or whatever it was that you did that helped them without you being asked to. It shows initiative. So everything can serve this sort of greater process. Everything supports you. Whether or not you feel like it does or not, everything is happening for you. And it's either an opportunity to learn, to get clear, or to prepare for the next opportunity. So if you found this helpful, please let me know. I really had fun answering this question, and I got inspired to make this into something that I could share with all of you, because I feel like this is something that a lot of people may have questions about. It's something that I've had questions about at various points in my career about how do I get more money at this job I'm working. And it's taken me years of working to get to the point where I feel confident and competent enough to explain what I've done, explain what my approach is, and what I recommend for you, and the perspective in which you should take this and handle this. So, if you like this, give it a like, share it with someone who needs it. Go ahead and subscribe, follow, and I'll see you guys in the next one.